Hi guys, happy Saturday. It is November 22nd, 2025. We wanted to talk about the cognitive dissonance. First, we'll give you a definition what that means. A lot of people talk about it. People think they know what it means, but it references MAGA and the collapse of MAGA. So I think it's very pertinent today with everything that's going on with the JE files, JE itself, the issue, MAGA's vote against the JE files, 427-1 in the House, and anonymous consent in the Senate. March Taylor Greene leaving, Mandami being a love fest in the White House. All these things are basically driving his followers crazy. So we have a picture here. Yeah, that's literally it. So they're upset at him, right? So, MAGA, Make America Great Again. Trump is, their savior. They believe everything that he says. He's their cult leader. Okay, this is a cult, and that is another reason why cognitive dissonance matters when you are in a cult. So let's just get into it and what's been happening, and so you understand, because this is very important for you to digest this while this is happening in slow motion. The collapse of not only the cognitive dissonance of MAGA, but also the collapse of MAGA. Okay.
Lies. He issues a...
Sorry, let's start with the definition.
Definition of cognitive dissonance, MAGA/Trump cult context. Cognitive dissonance is the mental stress people feel when the facts in front of them completely contradict what they believe, especially when the belief is tied to identity, loyalty, or a savior figure. In the MAGA context, cognitive dissonance happens when Trump's followers see evidence that he is weak. He is involved with criminals. He lies. He issues illegal orders. He protects abusers. He contradicts their moral values. But they cannot accept it because for 10 years they built their identity around. Trump equals hero. Trump equals protector. Trump equals moral leader. Trump equals only person who tells the truth. So instead of updating the belief, they get angry, deny reality, attack anyone who brings facts, become more extreme, double down on the cult, threaten MTG, senators, military officers, reporters, blame conspiracies, say it's a setup. This is classic cult behavior and the textbook definition of cognitive dissonance. Part 1, the psychology. Why MAGA is experiencing cognitive dissonance now. Cognitive dissonance in cult followers. MAGA's base has spent 10 years defending a fantasy self-image. Trump equals strong father. Trump equals persecuted hero. Trump equals protector. Trump equals embodiment of Christianity, masculinity, patriotism. But 2024 to 2026 forces the base to confront the truth. Epstein equals destroys the moral purity fantasy. Namdani moment equals destroys the alpha male fantasy. Military not obeying illegal orders equals destroys the authoritarian fantasy. MTG turning equals destroys the loyalty fantasy. Economic deterioration equals destroys the prosperity fantasy. This leaves a cult member with two choices. Double down and become even more extreme. Collapse psychologically and walk away. The reason you're seeing threats, panic, screaming, violence, and erratic behavior from MAGA voters is because their core identity is being ripped apart. Why Medium Dar Part 2, MAGA's birth chart. June 16th, 2015, New York, New York. This was the moment Trump descended the escalator and launched MAGA as a political cult. This chart is shockingly clear. Sun in Gemini, mutable air. A movement built on shifting narratives, contradictions, mental manipulation. Two truths at once, perfect for disinformation. Cognitive dissonance is literally baked into the chart. Moon in Scorpio. Obsessive loyalty, paranoia, secrecy, conspiracies. Saturn at 29 degrees Scorpio. A degree of karma, endings, irreversible collapse. Whenever Saturn returns to this degree, MAGA cracks. Pluto in Capricorn, 2015 chart. Shows a cult built on hierarchical power, patriarchy, strongman, leadership. Why Medium Star Part 3, MAGA's astrology timeline. Fire 1. Pluto in Aquarius, 2024 to 2043, the Great Deprogramming. Pluto entered Aquarius in 2024. Aquarius equals truth, science, the crowd turning on the leader, exposure, rebellions, institutions rejecting authoritarian control. Pluto destroys anything built on lies. Trump and MAGA cannot survive this episode. Fire 2. The June 2025 to March 2026 Saturn, Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees Aries. This is the biggest transit of the decade. It dissolves false prophets, cults, illusions, mass delusions, fake saviors. This is exactly why Trump looks weaker, confused, disoriented, fragile, not dominating, not feared. This hits both. His chart, the MAGA chart, the US chart, and the 2015 movement's Moon/Saturn axis. This is when the illusion of Trump as a savior dissolves. Fire 3. April 2024, April 2026. The eclipse series directly on Trump plus MAGA. These eclipses hit Trump's sun, Trump's moon, Trump's nodes, MAGA's sun, MAGA's Saturn. Eclipses equals death and rebirth of identity. MAGA is experiencing a death of its self-image. Why Medium Star Part 4, Key Triggers of MAGA Collapse. 1. Epstein Files, Moral Disintegration. MAGA's fantasy of Trump as moral protector collapses. This creates shame, anger, betrayal, projection, paranoia. This is why they are turning on. NTG, the 6 senators, the military, the press, DOJ, judges, even each other. 2. Mamdani moment, alpha image collapse. The exact energetic reading you gave is correct. Mamdani neutralized Trump, disarmed him, fathered him emotionally, made him feel safe, made him feel seen, reflected his voters back at him, and he could not attack him. This visually showed MAGA, Trump is not the dominant strongman you imagined. That is catastrophic psychologically for cult followers. 3. Military officers publicly reject illegal orders. This is the ultimate humiliation for an authoritarian. It shows Trump has no control. Trump is not feared. Trump is not obeyed. MAGA cannot force institutions. This is exactly what triggers cult collapse. In every historical cult, the moment the leader loses control of the enforcers, the cult fractures. 4. MTG turning on Trump. She is a symbolic avatar for MAGA's raw base. When she breaks, many follow. Astrologically, her Saturn and Uranus are being activated at the same time. Anger, rebellion, breakage, explosive separation. She will publicly turn on Trump between December 2025 to March 2026. Why Medium Star Part 5, so when does MAGA actually collapse? Here is the exact window. Fire the 3-phase collapse of MAGA. Phase 1, December 2024 to August 2025. Cracks and denial. Epstein. MTG anger. Senators distancing. Generals refusing illegal orders. Trump appearing weak. Mamdani moment. Fox distancing. Donors panicking. Psychologically, MAGA doubles down to avoid facing humiliation. Phase 2, September 2025 to April 2026. The shattering. This corresponds to the Saturn, Neptune conjunction. US Pluto return aftermath. Eclipses on Trump's sun/moon. MAGA chart Saturn return, karma. Uranus entering Gemini shocks revolts. This is when the cult identity collapses. You will see defections, public breakdowns, ideological fragmentation, new factions, scapegoating, violence among MAGA members, blaming Trump, blaming MTG, blaming deep state, blaming the military, blaming each other. This period is the end of Trump as a cult figure. Phase 3, May 2026 to December 2027. The aftermath plus reconstruction. At this stage, MAGA exists but as a fringe splinter. GOP transitions to new leaders. Many MAGA voters rebrand quietly. Trump becomes a symbol of failure, not greatness. The Epstein files rewrite the entire narrative. This is the detox phase after the cult breaks. Why medium star final? Why MAGA collapses now? Because all three cycles hit simultaneously. Pluto in Aquarius equals collapse of false idols. Saturn, Neptune in Aries equals destruction of delusion and savior fantasies. Eclipses hitting Trump / MAGA equals karmic exposure. Trump's personal astrology equals weakness, confusion, lack of control. Cultural blows, Epstein, Mamdani, military refusal, MTG shift. Economic stress finally hitting the outer ring of MAGA voters. No cult in history survives all 6 of these pressures at once. The astrology is unequivocal. Why medium star MAGA's cognitive dissonance collapses between December 2025 and April 2026. Why medium star Trump's savior image dissolves. Why medium star the movement fractures and loses its identity. Why medium star the cult era ends.
Okay, guys, so let's see what happens. It's bound to collapse. Let's see if it happens during this time frame. It could be a little bit later, but it's falling apart right before our eyes, and everything that's happening right now, as far as the JE files are concerned, and the JE situation is only going to intensify this collapse. Okay, so let's see when it happens, especially with the economic stuff with the ACA and healthcare. That's going to really piss them off. And if we do see another government shutdown, which we likely will, after January 30th, right? That's when the CR ends. So we have a lot of economic things that are going to harm them, including the tariffs. So affordability, inflation, tariffs, ACA or insurance, food insecurity, among other things. So that is on the economic side. That doesn't even include the culture side, which we went over as well. So culturally, economically, why are they with this guy again? Okay, he seems pretty weak and pretty stupid, and that's why it's going to dissolve just like any cult.